Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Eva. Just taking some nice deep breaths as we enter into the awareness of our self here together. Remembering the power of our minds, being in witness to the power of our minds, being in full awareness of our unity with all life here in our planetary consciousness, all life, all physical forces, so like the very physics of our universe. We are one with this. All of the essences, all of the elements, all of the chemical makeup, all of the physical material, our oneness with this physical material, that we may feel this through our own body, through our own form, through our mind, through our emotions, through our projections, through our reflections back, through our interpretation, that we just loosen everything up to really feel that oneness, to feel the support, to feel the eternal in it, to feel the life itself in it, to feel that current, to really open us up, allowing ourselves to be attuned, but also seeing that in that choice we do attune ourselves, in our choice to be still, in our choice to be quiet, in our choice to listen. And this feels like a big, I think most generally today, we are speaking on and expanding into and remembering and revealing ideas of manifestation as it is. But we feel we are attuning to and recognizing for ourselves and acknowledging and accepting and aligning our belief with attunement into homeostasis, into balance, into health, into openness, into the receptive mode. As things are very rapidly changing within ourselves, we see this reflected out everywhere in the world at this time, rapid change, that we don't get caught up in the interpretation of the ending, that we don't get caught up in analysis of the ending, that we don't feel like we keep having to go back to change things, that we don't get caught in the ending. It feels very much like the message that is coming through, that we don't wait to see anew, that we don't wait until everything is perfect to see or be or act as if we are aligned and attuned with our inner being, with spirit, with limitlessness, with infinite potentiality of choice of our mind, with joyfulness, with curiosity, with play, with expansion, with happiness. That we would begin to believe that Spirit would only be calling our attention back to ourselves this way. If your self is of infinite creation, if your self is of limitlessness, if your self is of perfection, if you were created as the creator, which is whole and one and infinitely creative, can experience anything it chooses, that it would be, I would say, easier to choose the reality of your being, because it is extremely painful to choose against it. And we have massive amounts of evidence. We have all of time to give us evidence for that, that to choose against the natural way of your being, which is expansion, which is freedom, which is remembrance of infinite possibility, that it's very painful to choose against that, to continue to limit yourselves and to project very limited outcomes, or to project the belief that there's something that you cannot have, that you're not worthy of, that you don't deserve for X, Y, and Z, whatever you're deficient in, whatever you believe you are lacking. The infinite lacks nothing. The endless, the eternal, the source, which never runs dry, lacks nothing. There is nothing outside of the source. And if that is the way of your being, then that would have to be the truth of your mind as well. And as we loosen ourselves up. You don't have to believe that. You probably won't believe that full cloth, right? That we use time to remember that. But Spirit really is calling us to enjoy time, to not see it as a slog of healing, but to see it as a playful endeavor of return. But what you're returning to is not punishment. It's not fire and brimstone. It's not a final judgment by the way of what you are found to be lacking in. What you return to is the reality of no lack. And that's what we attune to. That is always what we're attuning to. So don't wait to see anew. Don't wait to live in accordance with your vision in your internal being, in your eternal internal state. And in this idea of manifestation, that we would let the way appear before you. And we're really working with the elementals. And I don't mean that just in the sense of earth, air, fire, water, metals, these things, but the very specific essences of them that we have made here in this physical world, that you would see yourself in accordance, in attunement, in unity with all of these forces, physically, so that we can see the way forward, not 18,000 steps ahead to say that we could, proclaim that we could predict the future, or we're going to tell other people what's going to happen. It's not for that. That's very limiting. to do that is an incredible limitation on the field. It doesn't allow for the expansion of limitless possibility of joyfulness about the way things could unfold if you would project the future, if you would limit the future to a projection. There's no use in that. It's not now, right? And so it isn't true. It's just more projection. So we are attuning to listen. We're remembering how to listen for the way to appear forward, but the shift here, the changes in the goal. We're not remembering to listen for specific instructions about how to achieve X, Y, and Z. We are learning to listen without any goal except to be in awareness of our being, to be in awareness of creation, to be in awareness of the power of our mind, to be in awareness of the choice that we have. And that we would loosen our minds, loosen our tight grip on doing, or having a million different goals about what we want to achieve, so that the stress comes off, the pressure comes off, and so certainty returns to our mind. And the correct flow, what I would say is the correct flow of current, when you are aligned with the belief that good things are for you, that life is orchestrating out in your favor because you are in accordance with it, because you remember your oneness, you remember the power of your mind to project this physical world, that you would remember that you are the master of this universe in your unity with the universe itself. That your mind is that powerful. It is already orchestrating your experience. It's already projecting. It's already doing all of the things that you think you have to learn how to do. It's already doing it. So when you really let yourself be loosened, and you let yourself return to a homeostasis, to a natural balance, to peace, to openness, to listening to the receptive state, that you don't question the outcome. This idea of living in the end. You live, but it's not the end. It is the process. It is creation ever expanding. This idea of being still and knowing. Be still and know that you are God. You are of God. You are of God's power. You wouldn't be able to be projecting anything if you were not of the power of Source. None of this would be happening. So that's already you're already using that power. You're already doing it. Yes. So letting yourself take some nice deep breaths and just letting all of these ideas be with these ideas, be with the possibility of these ideas. But we would ask that you would be receptive to these ideas and the possibility of them being extremely exciting and joyful. That, oh my gosh, yes, thank God. Yes, this is my truth. Yes, this is my being. Yes, I'm going to let this make me ecstatically happy right now. I'm going to let this redirect my attention to more of it, to more of that truth, to more of creation, to more of expansion. How do I do that? Keep paying attention to how good it feels to remember that that's the way that your mind works, that you do get to choose your interpretive mode. You do get to choose your analysis of this situation. You do get to choose to see your wounds or your blocks or your limitations as doorways. And it is the power of your mind that they would turn from blocks to openings. That's in your choice to see them that way. There's nobody else making it otherwise. That's in the power of your mind. And thank God it's so. Thank God that is the power of my mind. Thank God I have it already within me. My capability completely already here for me to choose again. And I'm not alone in this process. I'm not ever left alone. I can't choose of myself. I remember where the power comes from. God hasn't taken away your power because you've chosen to be other than what you are, that you've chosen an idea of separation, that you've chosen to believe that you lack something, that you've chosen to believe that you're without life, that you're without your creative power, that you're without safety, that you're without security, that you're without abundance or provision even, that you're without enough. We're already choosing that, and the effects of that choosing are what has made the world the way that it is. So God didn't say, oh, I'm going to take away their power because they're using it to hurt themselves. It's not taking away your power because it's not ever going to do that, because it's not going to negate itself. It wouldn't take away its own power. There would be nothing, and nothing is impossible. So instead, it's calling to you to say, remember what you're already doing. You have enough evidence here to witness how your projections are creating your experience. You don't like what it is, but you still have the power to be doing it some other way. It's a small shift, actually. It's the smallest of attention shifts. It's not hard. The more you tell yourself it's difficult, the more difficult it will be. You still believe that there's a lot you have to do before you can be worthy of that power. But we are saying today, you are using the power right now to hear me. You are using the power to perceive this video. You are using the power to doubt the words that are coming through. So witness how you're already using the power of your interpretation to have it be a way for you, that you're creating an entire world with your interpretation and projection. It's already being done. Use it to create something else. But understand that it's in your power to you can simply abandon the endeavor of lack. You don't have to make up for anything that you've done. There is no penance. That's not an idea of union. That's not an idea of eternal being. What would you have to make up for? Just do something else. Look the other way. Trust. The practice of stillness and meditation and being with yourself is so that you have a basis in trust, that you would feel that peace, feel that knowingness, feel that certainty, because it's natural to you. When you still your mind, it will appear. But you need that foundation of trust because you don't believe it's true, right? You don't believe that only good things could come to you. Well, that's not the way the world is. You know, that's up to you. So, again, just allowing these ideas to flower and expand in you and open up for you in whatever way they would, whatever way is written for you in your own code. The word is appointed for you in your incarnation. That's why we started this in the focus of letting the path, the word that is written in your code, the genetic code of the universe, that you're holding in this vector space, this matrix of your body and your mind, where your body is and where you think it's in your body and your mind, that you would let that to be illuminated for the way to appear before you, the way that has been appointed for you in spirit, for your release, for your reunion. And it is joyous. And it is joyous. And it is. Kayanyandrain so yoshomo korrito yo toko arato yo sunto kanain shorra indi poasno chuncho koryat. Don't wait for whatever physical evidence you think is going to be presented to you on your doorstep to say yes. You have to look for it. Everywhere it is saying yes. It's saying yes everywhere. You have to remember the flow of your mind. It's saying yes because you have chosen to say yes. So let it be true for you internally so that it can be reflected back to you. Yandori kum yatanandi orotai. And that is the natural way. Kinandua woshapisanza kinandi tayatakorru itiando komashonzoko aratos. Don't intervene in it. Tontroatishatatos. Don't stop it with the intervention of your own analysis. Sansandriatosokoshitatas, with the ego's analysis. With the analysis of separation or meaning making. Kinandrorum jandandriatiasonsokoshtatrat yana mumbo a rukoishikayatat. Is it making you happy? Is all that meaning making you happy, or is it keeping you chained to the past? Kinandroarum jitritatostokoshtatata. Yama yonyotosomzakina inya rumdi traisiotos. Let this attunement be awakened. Let this illumination, let this revelation be awakened from inside of every part of your being. Sun sotingio ritatroato shakotitanyan centritios hushipeterichin maratus dora kinandritish, because there is another way to live. There is an organic way of living in union with all of the physicality. Kian tas dorat ushtitranis, because it's already that way. But when you choose to change the definition of wholeness, nature is not separate from you, right? When you choose and to allow the expansion of what that is and what that means to be like blown open. Throw out all of the old definitions. Like, don't even try to rework them or rewrite them. Just let them all go and let it emerge, because it's here. And it's here in you. You are powerful. Kandratus noratinda kumoa shantraitiot korroko. Shinsandriti sikaya shnandri kinyant ritoyoto arrahita ritokoa. Shorundatria kanashan socorro kundati katayasat sutro kuna yandu korrokotat. And as we loosen and see ourselves as beings who can use the tools of polarity, kantakinando rotoyotakiat, that again we would choose to see what we perceive or interpret as negative polarity or negative density or something bad or something we don't want, that we remember that there's a layer of ourselves, the soul, the inner being that we have let ourselves forget or have chosen to forget, but that we can still use our soul's interpretive power to choose to see everything as a tool for our remembering, to see everything as an opportunity to let love in, to let life in, to let attunement in, to let illumination in, to let the truth in, to let eternity in, to let peace in, to let health in, to let abundance in, everywhere. It's not only in certain circumstances. Everything that we see, we can use that way when we allow the vision of the illuminated self through us in this now, and we open that up to not just our eyeballs or our ears or our mouths or what we think of our mind and our brain, but everywhere, 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 everywhere. Hinandor kunam chandrahinga sinzatishin zindri kaya sunso koshitaya saya. Himiandora kuna trumba rohito korkuasun. Shatrakian sundro hinsansakishta karakik. Horokumasun sotroitik. Hi korukis doro. Hi ushun sokorkuitini morkua. Shurundu kanandri kana shandai. Hiuratina morra kinandri orkuai. Kimosunso kunjakire hinna tanasanya hinyan sondroatis. And the sound that comes through, the orchestration that might seem foreign to you, but probably not if you're watching this video. It's probably something that calls to you, that you do feel you understand in a certain way. That you can see it as a kind of stepping stone, right? We live in time. We are kind of breaking the limitations or the discreteness of time that we've built in lower densities is coming apart, but we're not ending time now, right? This is a shift of an age. It's not the end of physicality. It's the shift of an age. So as we let go of some of that density, we can see these different expressions of sound, code, or language, or however, different orchestrations and attunements. You can see it as just sort of a stepping stone, right? We're not in the place as a collective to believe in instantaneous manifestation or change, and that would probably make everybody lose their minds. You would lose your mind if let's say you really wanted your body to look different, and you said, oh, I have a different body, and then in your current state of understanding, you went to the mirror and you looked like a different person. Like my hair was straight and I was thinner and I didn't have spots on my face and whatever, right? Oh my God, would you not lose your mind? Would you really accept that, right? Would you really accept that? This is not a judgment. I probably wouldn't really, I've experienced things that have made me go sideways, right? So we're given tools that assist us along the way of expansion, that are like what we use but are more, so that we are eased into it, because Spirit doesn't want you to lose your mind. Spirit wants you to remember that you're already in your right mind. You have ideas, you've got kooky ideas, you've got ideas that do not reflect the truth, you've got ideas that do cause pain in yourself, in your idea of yourself, and in your physical experience, in your dream. But they have no effect on your reality, and that reality is always there. So Spirit is not trying to push you into where it would take you longer to recover. So sometimes we think we want magic wands and stuff like that, but it's not quite like that. We are learning to enjoy time and not work against it and not further limit it. We are here to expand it such that we no longer see its effects and we no longer live our life by its rule that we've made, but we are given tools to gently do that we are sort of comfortable with, and many people aren't, and many people think we're all nuts. But as we get used to, and it's not just the language code, but it's many different ways, many different symbols, that we would allow the symbols to mean more to us, that we would allow their effects to be more for us, and that we would allow them really to ease our journey. But as we change our relationship to time and resistance and how long things take, that we would see it as a beautiful orchestration to really be in the physical expression of what it is that we truly want and what we are truly envisioning. And the time that it takes, we are in enjoyment of, and we are in such gratitude for the remembrance of the power of our mind, and we test out different things, and we know that nothing is catastrophic, and we know that our lives are eternal, and we know that we are loved, that our inner being's field is joyous love. It is exciting. It is beautiful. And that's for us at all moments. And we don't have to wait. And we're going to end it there as we began. Don't wait for heaven. Don't wait to see anew. It's within you now. It is your home. No matter what you've done, no matter what you believe about yourself, you haven't changed the truth. Amen. Thank you all for joining me again here today. If you feel called to like or share or comment, please do. It really helps other people to see the work. If you feel called to go deeper into the work, there's many different ways to work together. One-on-one sessions are open again. Healing meditations, very, very powerful, fun stuff. Written transmissions, recorded stuff, all kinds of stuff. You can always check out those links below. So thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you next time.